The harsh winds whipped across the vast, open expanse of the ocean, sending chills down the spines of even the most seasoned sailors. It was a treacherous place, filled with mystery and danger lurking beneath the surface. Deep within the murky depths, a fearsome creature known only as the sea monster prowled, with tentacles that reached out like malicious tendrils, ready to claim any unfortunate soul who crossed its path. Captain William Hawkins, a grizzled seafarer with a heart as weathered as his ship, had long heard the tales of the beast that haunted these waters. He was a man of would dare to challenge legends, and so he set out on a quest to unravel the truth behind the rumors that echoed through every port town. As the ship sailed further into the uncharted waters, the crew could feel an eerie presence creeping upon them. The sea turned black as ink, and the sails flapped violently, almost as if nature itself was warning them to turn back. But Captain Hawkins was not a man to be swayed by superstition. Night fell, engulfing the ship in a thick blanket of darkness. The only light came from the stars above, their feeble glow a reminder of the vast emptiness that surrounded them. It was in the dead of the night that the sea monster struck. From the depths, a monstrous appendage shot out, coiling around the ship's mast with a bone-chilling grip. The ship groaned under the pressure, its timbers creaking in protest. The crew scrambled, desperately trying to cut the tentacle free. And so, the crew continued their journey, their sails billowing in the wind, their hearts heavy with both the weight of loss and the anticipation of what lay ahead. Captain Hawkins may have sailed on, but his spirit lived on within each one of them. They would go on to conquer new horizons, to face unimaginable horrors and emerge stronger for it. For they had learned that surviving the ocean's curse was not just about escaping the grips of darkness, but about embracing the light that shone through in the most unexpected places. The legend of Captain William Hawkins became immortal, his story passed down through generations of seafarers. The sea monster, once a fearsome creature that haunted the nightmares of sailors, became a warning and a testament to the power that lay within the human spirit. And so, the cycle continued. Brave souls set sail, eager to unravel the mysteries of the deep, ready to face the trials that awaited them. The sea was a fickle mistress, but those who dared to challenge her would forever be remembered as the heroes who survived the ocean's curse. And so, dear reader, as you embark on your own journey, remember the tale of Captain Hawkins and the sea monster. For life is filled with darkness and uncertainty, but it is in those moments that we discover the strength within ourselves, the power to overcome even the most formidable of challenges. Their new voyage was rife with dangers and discoveries, as they encountered sea creatures both magnificent and terrifying. Each day brought a new challenge, but the crew faced them head-on, their bond unbreakable. Captain Hawkins reveled in the thrill of the unknown, the adrenaline running through his veins. He had tasted death and emerged victorious, unafraid to face whatever lay ahead. The sea was his mistress, and he her humble servant. The crew encountered storms that threatened to devour them whole, and yet, they prevailed. They stumbled upon hidden treasures and ancient myths brought to life, their journey becoming a tapestry of awe-inspiring experiences. And through it all, Captain Hawkins stood at the helm, guiding his crew with a steady hand and a determined spirit. His eyes sparkled with the fire of adventure, the legacy of the sea monster forever imprinted on his soul. Years turned into decades, and still, Captain Hawkins sailed on, his spirit undying. He grew older, his face lined with the wisdom gained from a lifetime at sea, but his love for the ocean remained as strong as ever. And when his time came, Captain Hawkins welcomed death with open arms, a grateful smile on his lips. His final moments were spent gazing out into the endless expanse of the sea, the place that had both tested him and brought him immeasurable joy. As the crew gathered to bid their captain farewell, an air of bittersweet serenity settled over them. The bonds they had forged with Captain Hawkins ran deep, their lives forever intertwined with the legend he had become. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, as they made their way back to the world they had left behind. Their hearts filled with anticipation, they clung to the memories of their time at sea, forever grateful for the new lease on life they had been granted. Finally, land came into view, its coastline hazy yet familiar. Tears of joy and relief mingled with the spray of the sea as the crew celebrated their safe return. Captain Hawkins stepped onto firm ground, his heart brimming with gratitude for the twists and turns that had led them here. News of their incredible journey spread like wildfire, capturing the imaginations of people far and wide. Captain Hawkins became a legend in his own right, a symbol of courage and resilience in the face of unimaginable horrors. The crew members went their separate ways, forever bound by the shared ordeal that had shaped them. Some settled back into the lives they had left behind, grateful for the opportunity to live in peace once again. Others, however, were unable to escape the allure of the sea, haunted by its calling. Captain Hawkins, though tempted to retire and leave his seafaring days behind, couldn't resist the pull of the ocean. He yearned for new adventures, to seek out other legends and unravel the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the waves. And so, Captain Hawkins assembled a new crew, a group of brave souls who shared his passion for the unknown. Together, they set sail once more, their hearts filled with anticipation, their spirits unyielding in their pursuit of the unexplored. It was decided that they would build a smaller ship, one that could take them back to the world they had left behind. They scoured the island for materials, working tirelessly to construct their means of escape. Day and night, they toiled away, their sweat mixing with the sand as they labored to build their vessel. Laughter and camaraderie filled the air, a stark contrast to the fear and despair that had plagued them not long ago. Finally, after weeks of hard work, the ship was complete. Its wooden hull gleamed in the sunlight, its sails eagerly awaiting the wind's embrace. Captain Hawkins felt a mixture of excitement and gratitude as they prepared to embark on their final leg of the journey. The sea cradled them gently as they set sail, bidding farewell to the island that had offered them sanctuary. The crew looked back one last time, etching the memory of their near-death experience into their minds, never to be forgotten. As they sailed back towards civilization, Captain Hawkins couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment. Their harrowing ordeal had transformed them, leaving behind scars both physical and emotional, but also forging a bond between them that would last a lifetime. The ship cut through the waves with determination, its bow slicing through the water with a grace that spoke of triumph over adversity. The crew's spirits soared, their eyes fixed on the horizon, eager to embrace the lives they had fought so hard to return to. Hours melded into an eternity as the storm raged on, a relentless tempest that seemed to have no end. But just when they thought all hope was lost, the skies began to clear, and the waves gradually subsided. The crew emerged from their hiding places, their bodies battered and bruised, but their spirits unbroken. Captain Hawkins looked out into the horizon, squinting his weary eyes. There, in the distance, was land. It was a welcome sight, a beacon of hope amidst the vastness of the sea. They sailed towards it, their tired bodies pushing forward with a renewed sense of purpose. As they reached the shore, the crew stumbled off the ship, collapsing onto the sand with sighs of relief. Captain Hawkins was the last to disembark, his weathered face etched with both exhaustion and triumph. The island was nothing like they had expected. It was a lush paradise, teeming with life and vibrant colors. The air was sweet and fragrant, a stark contrast to the salty, oppressive atmosphere of the sea. The crew took their first steps onto dry land, stretching their stiff muscles and reveling in the newfound freedom. They had escaped the grips of darkness, their journey finally brought to an end. Captain Hawkins, however, knew that they could not stay on the island forever. They had left behind homes and loved ones, and their hearts ached with the longing for familiarity. The darkness enshrouded them once again as they sailed back to the area where the sea monster lay in wait. The crew prepared their weapons, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. The sea monster emerged from the shadows, its massive form casting a terrifying silhouette against the moonlit sky. Its tentacles shot out towards the ship, but this time, the crew was ready. They coated their blades in the herbal concoction, their weapons gleaming with a newfound power. As the tentacles closed in, they struck, slashing and stabbing with all their might. The sea monster let out an ear-piercing screech, retreating back into the depths, defeated. The crew rejoiced, their cheers echoing across the sea. Captain Hawkins stood tall amidst the celebration, a sense of accomplishment and relief washing over him. They had overcome the curse that had plagued these waters for so long. But just as they began to bask in their victory, the ship lurched violently. A torrential storm descended upon them, the rain pouring down like a waterfall. It seemed that the sea monster's defeat was not enough to secure their escape. The ship was tossed and turned by the raging waves, its hull groaning under the strain. Captain Hawkins knew that they needed a miracle to survive this brutal onslaught. With every ounce of strength left in him, he called upon the crew members to hold on tight and weather the storm. They clung to whatever they could find, their determination steeled against the fury of the elements. But their efforts were futile. The tentacle tightened its hold, squeezing with the strength of a vice. Panic spread amongst the sailors as they realized the futility of their struggle. Captain Hawkins, however, refused to give in to despair. With his sword in hand, he made a mad dash towards the immense limb, slashing at it with all his might. The sea monster let out a roar of pain, recoiling momentarily. It was the crew's moment of reprieve. They used the brief respite to gather their wits and formulate a plan. They knew that if they didn't act quickly and decisively, this would be the end of their journey. The ship's carpenter, a burly man named Bartholomew, suggested using a concoction made from rare herbs found on an uncharted island they had passed earlier. Legend had it that these herbs possessed the power to weaken and repel creatures of the deep. Captain Hawkins nodded, seeing the soundness in Bartholomew's proposal. They set sail towards the island, their spirits renewed with hope. The sea seemed to grow calmer as they approached, as if acknowledging their quest for survival. Upon reaching the island, the crew scattered in search of the elusive herbs. It was a treacherous journey through dense foliage and unknown dangers, but they pressed on, determined to save themselves. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they found the herbs. They gathered a sizable amount, their bags bursting at the seams with their precious cargo. With newfound confidence, they returned to the ship, ready to face the sea monster once more.